This is a broadcast from the American Radio Authority. Previous observations documented recurring convergence patterns within retail environments. Customers arriving independently, yet consistently aligning into shared points of movement. At the time, these patterns were noted, but not fully explored. Additional reports have since complicated that conclusion. What appeared to be coincidence now presents with the level of consistency that invites further examination. Modern retail environments are often presented as optimized systems, designed for efficiency, throughput, convenience. Self-checkout systems have been widely implemented, multiple lanes installed, infrastructure capable of supporting rapid customer flow. And yet, full capacity is rarely observed. Lanes remain closed, stations sit inactive, throughput slows, despite available alternatives. This limitation is not occasional, it is consistent, across locations, across regions, across different brands operating under separate management. Despite variation in ownership, the outcome remains the same. Movement is reduced, flow is narrowed, and customers are guided into fewer points of convergence. What follows is not disruption, it is adaptation. Customers wait, they queue, they adjust their expectations in real time. Time loss is accepted, delays are normalized, frustration, when present, is brief and rarely acted upon. More notably, behavior stabilizes. Individuals fall into rhythm, spacing becomes consistent, movement becomes predictable, decision-making simplifies. The system does not require instruction, the structure provides it. This is where the observation becomes difficult to ignore. If these were isolated inefficiencies, they would vary, they would fluctuate, they would resolve under competitive pressure. Instead, they persist, not identically, but consistently, which suggests something important. The system may not be optimized for speed, it may be optimized for something else. It is possible these environments are not designed to move people faster, but to move them consistently. Consistency produces predictability. Predictability reduces deviation, and reduced deviation creates a stable behavioral environment. In such an environment, individuals do not need to be instructed. They respond to conditions. They follow flow. They adapt without resistance. This is not control in the conventional sense. There are no commands, no visible enforcement, only structure. And structure, when applied correctly, does not restrict behavior, it shapes it. These observations may not be limited to retail environments. Any space designed to manage movement has the potential to produce consistent behavioral outcomes. Traffic systems, pedestrian pathways, urban layouts, entry and exit points, signal timing, lane reductions. Each introduces constraint. Each influences decision-making. Each narrows available options without removing them entirely. When movement is structured, behavior tends to follow. At small scale, this appears as inconvenience, a longer line, a closed lane, a slower process than expected. A larger scale, the same principles produce something else. Alignment, not forced, not commanded, but achieved through repetition, through exposure, through environments that gradually reduce variation over time. What begins as inefficiency may serve a secondary function, not restriction, but consistency. The question is not whether these systems are intentional, that remains unverified. The question is why the outcome remains so stable, despite the capability for change. Why systems designed for efficiency consistently operate below it. Why environments across unrelated operators produce similar behavioral results. And why those results are so readily accepted. What was previously observed as coincidence may represent early stage alignment, not imposed, not enforced, but introduced through structure, repeated, normalized, and ultimately unexamined. This has been a report from the American Radio Authority. Observation remains ongoing, interpretation remains voluntary.